Hi guys, how are you? I've been wanting to put this video together for quite a while, and today I'm finally doing it. And some of you who has ever been in the Faster EFT session together with me, you may know that I incorporate a lot of imagination work in my Faster EFT sessions and been getting amazing results with my approach. And today I would like to invite you to step into your imagination. I'd like to invite you to step into your imagination of a perfect you, the you who has never been hurt. And for me, when I think of stories my mom and dad tell me, or my grandmother would tell me, I'm able to envision that perfect me, and I would be able to remember that perfect me. And there's a couple of stories that could always put a smile on my face when I think of it. As my parents or my grandmother when she was alive, like each time they tell me, they would be telling the stories with a lot of joy, laughter, and enthusiasm. And it's also with those little stories about the child version of me, with that innocence, that carefree, that free spirit that actually kept me going, even in the most difficult times in my healing journey. And today I would like you to allow me this opportunity, this privilege, and this honor to share with you what the perfect me is like. And after that, I want to able to inspire you to as well remember that perfect you that was born within you and that has never left you. So are you ready for my story yet? I'm a good storyteller, and I'm gonna tell it really long. I'm just gonna make them really long. You got to stay with me. So there was two stories that I would like to specifically share with you today. And one of the story, it was when I just learned to speak. Like, when the first time, when in your very early development, when you were still a baby, maybe 9-10 months, you learn to speak the first word, and you may not know the meaning of those words, but you just like to speak. And I think at that time I was about, I don't know, maybe 11 months, a year old. And in China, like when we go out, when we meet other people who's in the same generation as our mom and dad, we would call them uncle or auntie. We don't call them by name. We would call them uncle or auntie. So at that time, I think the only thing I knew how to say was daddy, mommy, granny, uncle, auntie. So what happened was when I was little, my mom, she would take me to the marketplace every day, and she would be holding me like this, because there was no stroller back then. So she would be holding me, or maybe she would be carrying me at her back. And that cute little Serena, 1-year-old cute little Serena, like with her chubby little hand and chubby little face. She would just call uncle and auntie to everyone she came across on the in the marketplace, and then everyone just look at her and just love her. And she was so adorable, and her energy was contagious, and that it just inspired everyone to love her and to give to her. So according to my mom, what my mom told me, I was actually the most outgoing and the cutest baby in our neighborhood. So you can imagine the kind of attention I was getting, and especially when I was waving my chubby little hand to everyone, oh uncle, oh auntie. And then in the end, and before I went home, like everyone would want to buy me stuff. They want to buy me candies and cookies and buns and all kinds of things that would make a kid so happy. And I would have all of them once I get home, all because I was so friendly, so outgoing, and so carefree. And I wasn't ashamed of myself. I just express myself naturally and spontaneously, and just be friendly and loving to everyone, and they all want to give to me. Yeah. So now what's on your mind? Like, do you have a story of the perfect you? Maybe you got a different story, but I'm sure your story would just be as cute and as adorable as mine. And we were able to share our energy, share our love, and share our playfulness, because we were never hurt, because we were still the perfect little kid that we were born to be. And no matter how challenging time gets, and no matter what kind of challenge I encounter in my healing journey, I always have that 1-year-old cute little Serena with me. And that, with that little hint of faith, I never gave up. And finally my journey took me to Faster EFT, and now my healing every day is just exhilarating. And and that's just the beginning, and I have no idea what the future holds, and I have no idea what the potential and the possibility would be out there. We were all born to shine. We were all born to love and play and enjoy ourselves. And the next story I would like to share with you, it's also a story from my childhood. And it is a story that has been some of you may know and some of you may not know. I grew up in a family that I grew up with very little love. I felt very little love as I grew up, and especially so in the relationship with my father, because I just remember ever since I had memory, I was just afraid of my father, and I could never speak up when he's around. And when he was home, I would just lock myself inside the bedroom. And as I was a teenager, I was so afraid of him. And as I know that as I could hear that TV's on, I know that dad is in the living room watching TV, and I would just rather, I just rather skip going to washroom, because uh, in order for me to go to the washroom at home, I need to go through the living room, and that's where my father watched TV. So I just never wanted to see him, and I never wanted to talk to him, or just seeing him, or when he speak, I would just be so frightened. I would just freeze up, and just be that frightened little girl. So for all my teenage years, I locked myself inside the bedroom for the most part of my life when my father was around. So I would just go so horribly to the extreme that I would even skip going to washroom just to avoid seeing or talking with my dad. But somehow deep, deep, deep inside, I always know, and I always, always know that my dad, he loves me. And I love my dad. And one story that touched me so, 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 so deep, it is the story my mom told me when I was little, when I was about 2 or 3. I don't remember this happening, but she told me when I was 2 or 3. And I was so, I just love playing around with my dad, and I love to be close with my dad. Say when we were having dinner, and I just need to sit next to dad. I just need to sit next to dad, and I need to make sure, say, these are the two chairs. These are the two chairs, you see, and I just need to make sure that the chair, both chairs, my chair and dad's chair, it has to be very close, and there should be no gap. That is the way I love. I love to get close to dad, and that is what I remember. And another story that is so cute that my mom would, my mom told me is, it is when I was still play on the playground together with dad, when dad would still pick me up, and and just be very playful with me, and just play around with me. And at that time, that image of me and my dad being together, that my mom drew on my mind was when I just was 2 year old or 3 year old, I would be playing with my dad, and I would be competing with my dad who could run faster. And I always believed that I was the winner. I always believed that I could run faster than dad. And then I would go, Daddy, 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 come and catch me. So that is also a story that has been, so special for me. And whenever challenge comes, whenever I felt as though, there's no connection, and there's no relation between my dear father and me, that would be a story I would go and review. I would go and review, and to remind myself, yes, ooh, I have a hero in my life, and that's my daddy. And daddy, I'm your little girl. Oh, oh. And those are the stories as I start on the journey of self-searching, self-discovery, and in the process of repairing relationship with my 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 parents, my mom and dad. Those are just the stories that would give me hope, give me faith. And those are also the stories to remind me that I was born perfect, full with love and light. And so are you. And as we grow up, life has never been easy to us. We fall down here and there, and we get hurt here and there, and people say mean things to us here and there, so we pick up those hurts, and we convince ourselves that we are not perfect. We convince ourselves that we are not good enough, we are not worthy. But those are just lies. And those are just the wounds. And as Oprah Winfrey would say, there is a wisdom in every wound. And just imagine the day we are free from our hurt, our pain, our burden, our struggle. We will find that perfect you and me. I will find the perfect me, and you will find the perfect you. And just imagine also, we turn all of those wounds into wisdom. Who will we be? Yeah. And what would we be capable of? And what kind of gift, and what a beautiful gift we could share with the world if we could just allow ourselves to heal and allow ourselves to transform every wound into wisdom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I am ready for it, and I look forward to it. I'm excited about it. And today, I'm here to invite you to step on this journey and do yourself a favor. Find that perfect you, because she's been there waiting for you, and she needs you. She needs you to see her, she needs you to find her, and she needs you to bring her to the world. And thank you. I love you.